Hello, team. Welcome to a team training. Today, I'm so excited. We have a special guest, Jody Jansen, who is joining us from, are you in the hospital right now?
I am.
Like the hospital conference room or whatever?
It's a little family lounge. Yeah.
She's joining us because her daughter just had a baby, her very first granddaughter. So exciting. So that's why she's in the hospital. But so it's very, we are honored that you took a little bit of time away to share with us today. And so we're going to be talking, Jody's going to be talking today about coaching new stylists. And she's going to share something that I thought was so cool that she did with one of her new stylists. But I'll let you reveal what it is. So
Okay.
take it away, Jody. Before we jump in, Jody, will you share your Color Street story with us?
Sure, sure. I actually learned about Color Street in 2018 when a friend of my husband's had become a stylist and she just asked me to host a party for her. And
Hmm.
we did that. I fell in love with the product and continued to use it until right at the end of 2019, a friend of mine from growing up, like we grew up, I remember her, like some of my earliest memories of being in church with her, and we went through school together, graduated together. I saw that she was looking for hostesses, and I loved the product and I loved
Hmm.
her group because it was just always so positive and upbeat. And like I said, I grew up with her, so I knew that was her personality and I knew it was
Hmm.
real. And so I said, yeah, let's do a party because the host special that month was Black Cherry Bonbon, and I wanted that set. And so I said, okay, hook me up with a party, whatever I got to do to get it.
Hmm.
And within like 3 days, my party was over $600. And so
Wow, that's amazing.
I was completely wowed by that because my first experience was not like that. Um, and so I actually reached out to her and said, forgive me if I'm wrong, please correct me, but I don't think you worked very hard for this. What is the story? And she said, people just love this. And we put the group together and I put it out there and here we are. So um, I was very intrigued
Hmm.
and we raised beef cattle, our kids show. And the very first time I did one of the French manicures happened to be a nice day out. And my husband decided it was a good time that we go wash the calves. So I thought, great, I just did this manicure and it's going to be nasty by the time I come in. We went out, we washed 8 head of cattle by hand. And when I washed my hands, my manual was still intact. And that stuck with me. So when I was talking with
Yeah.
Lisa, told my husband, I said, we need to talk because I know a lot of moms in the show barn. And Lisa's making a lot of money off this party. And so I kind of had to pursue her. She's like, well, just think about it. I said, no, I'm done thinking. I'm ready. Let's go. And then, so my enrollment date is actually January 1st of 2020. And then
Love
March,
it.
and we rode the COVID wave where there were two St. Patrick's Day sets available online in April, and that was it. But my kids' school colors are green and black and yellow, so it worked out great for me. We just laughed and rolled with the punches, and here we are 4 years
Here
later.
we are. I love that. I love that it lasted during
Yeah,
when you were washing the cows. Like that's such a cool story.
I was so amazed because I just thought, well, that was a waste of money, but it worked
But
out
it
great.
turns out it
So,
wasn't.
right, right, right.
Love
So,
that. And now you've had a couple stylists sign up and we're able to help them qualify. And so we'd love to hear what you did to help them have success in February, just this last month.
yeah, just this last month, I had two enrollees, one on February 1st and one on February 8th. And honestly, the the biggest thing for them, and you and I have talked about this, the biggest thing for them is that they have been totally coachable. they're trusting the process, they're trusting me. And, I'm telling them, I said, go do this, go do that. And it may not make sense to them, but they're trusting the process and they're doing it. And so that makes a huge difference. But
Yes.
okay, so for the one who enrolled February 1st, she actually had no color street experience, had never even, I mean, she'd heard of it, but had never tried it.
Hmm.
When our bigger team, Aaron, I'm on Aaron's team, we had done a hydration mega party. And she said, yeah, I would love to find out about it. And I sent her some samples and then we started talking about it. And I thought, why not? I offered her the opportunity and she said, I've been looking for something. I feel like I'm ready to do something different. And she
Hmm.
jumped in and she started sharing with her people, her friends, her family, her circle of influence. And she wore the samples that I sent her to work and they stayed on. And so people at work were amazed. And so she had almost hit qualified stylist before her kit even arrived. And we had
Love
planned
that.
on,
That's amazing.
yeah, it was so exciting. She was so excited. And, she said, I really don't understand all this, but it's just so fun. And
Yeah.
so we were looking at doing a launch party and couldn't get our schedules to match up, to do an in-person party. And so we decided to do a Facebook live where we would both be on the live at the same time. And I would just I would show a demo of application and explain, these are the products that we offer. Well, the day that we had that set up, her kit arrived. It actually got to her a day earlier than what tracking said it was going to. And so she texted me,
Oh.
she said, it's here. I'm like, great, we are changing plans. And she was like, oh, what are we doing? I said, well, I said, don't open it yet. We're going to do a live unboxing and you can show what's in there. And then I can supplement with what I have that you didn't get. And then we'll just kind of show everything like we would if we were in person. And she's like,
Yes.
that's so fun. And so we did. And she went through what she had. And like I said, I showed an application, talked about some of the different ways to apply. When she showed what makeup she got, I showed what I had. And we, I don't remember what lipstick she got in her kit, but it was not a color that she would typically use. And I said, oh, but we're about the same skin tone. And so I put mine on and everybody was like, oh, wow, that's cool. And by the time it was done, I had all 12 lipstick colors on my face, some on my lips, some on my cheeks, some on my chin, because I mean, you can
I love
tell
it.
my skin tone on my arm and my face are different. So I didn't want to
Yeah.
put it on my arm. And
True.
it was not an original idea. I'd seen somebody else do it and it seemed like so much fun. And I thought, I don't know these people anyway, we had a good
Hmm.
time. And, but by the end of the month, she had over 300 PV. And so she's rolling, she's doing great. The
That's
other
amazing.
side,
Hold on. Before you jump to the next thing, we got to talk about that because this
okay.
is what I think is brilliant. And I want to encourage all of you who have new stylists to try this, to go live with your new stylist and do the unboxing together.
Mhm.
Have her go live on her wall and then she can add a person. It's pretty simple. It's pretty like user friendly to go live on your wall. Then you just click add friend, right? And then you join in and then it's like a split screen, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought this was just so genius because it's kind of holding her hand through the process and doing it with her instead of being like, go do this, good luck,
Yeah.
And it
And I
makes
mean,
it
we've all tried that and sometimes it works, but most of the time it doesn't. And we actually had already set up her VIP group. And so we did it in there, but I wish that I would have thought about just doing it on our personal page because then the outreach would have been even better for her. But, that's something to stick in the back of my mind for next time and for her
yeah.
too.
Yeah. And I mean, it's cool too because she's showing what she's getting and then you're showing how to use it. So it's like she's featuring the product and then you're showing how to apply it, which, she may or may not have known how to share that. And so it's really cool because they're getting to see both things and they're also seeing the opportunity. Like, oh, I can get the kit too, you know?
Well, and two, with that, I was able to explain that yes, I have all of this product, but I got it through host credits. And so I was able then to explain the host credits and to share, how it is that I have this massive amount of amazing product without breaking the bank.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, now you can move on. I just wanted everyone because this is like my favorite takeaway is like, okay, this is a really simple thing you can do with a new stylist is to
It
go live
was. And,
with them.
I drug my feet on doing something like this for so long that one of my accountability partners does something like that in her VIP group every few months. And I've always thought, I need to just pull up my big girl panties and do it and get over myself and do it. But just
Does your
never
accountability
really.
partner, does she do it like with a hostess? Because that's also a mind-blowing idea right there.
Um,
To
I
go live with her hostess in her VIP group.
Yeah, I don't think that was the case. Like, I think she did an interview. The video that I had watched was in her VIP group. She had done it like as part of a game night and just showcasing the different lipsticks. And I thought, I can do that with Becky and show because I mean, her kit has a lot of stuff, but I've got more because, I've been doing this for a while and I've had
Yeah,
all of the parties and, personal parties, and host credits are amazing way to get your hands on stuff to be able to try it out and to showcase for
yeah,
other people.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, and that could be like, again, if you're a new stylist and you want the person you enrolled with to do this, reach out and say, hey, I saw this training and I would love to try this too.
And it's so, I
I
mean, it
also
was
think this, sorry, I was
honestly,
gonna
it
say,
was
I also
so
think,
freeing that it was just so fun because it was
yeah,
her party and her group. And so I didn't have this mindset of, oh, I don't want to embarrass myself because these weren't my people, they were her people. So I
true,
was like,
yeah,
let's go, let's have fun. And
right.
she
And
was
then
all on board with it.
you're modeling how to use the product, what to say to explain the product. It's like live modeling as well. But
Yeah.
I mean, the thought I just had too is like you could totally do this in your VIP group with a hostess. Like
Oh,
this is the
absolutely.
host. We're going live together. She's gonna do her nails. We're gonna, I'll do some makeup. I don't, there's just like, there's so many different ways, but the idea of going live together, I just think is brilliant.
Well, and if you do that with a host in your VIP group, instead of like a party group, then you have your host invite her friends to your VIP group. So
Yes.
then you don't have that transfer from the party group into the VIP group and hoping that they join. They're doing it in there. And so they're already
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you can boost your party sales because you not only have your host guests, but you have all of your
Yep.
VIP groups who are
Yeah.
regulars
Yeah.
that
And they're
just,
seeing it not just on you, but on the hostess, like,
right,
which gives a little more credibility than just you constantly being like, yeah, buy this. This stuff's good. They're
for
seeing
sure.
it in action on another face.
For sure.
Yeah. Love this thought. This is brilliant. Love it.
Thanks. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And so, are you ready to move on to Rebecca
Yeah.
then?
Go. We can move on now.
Okay. Okay. So, I met Rebecca at a vendor event,
Hmm.
and she came over to my table and she was looking and looking. And I always start out with, "Are you familiar with Color Street?" And she said, "Yes, I have so many sets." Like, "Oh, cool. How many sets do you have?" She kind of did one of these and she said, "Probably about 200." I'm like, "Girl, step away from my table. You cannot buy anything from me tonight." She's like, "Wait, why? Why?" I said, because we're gonna girl boss math this. If you have 200 sets, and let's just say for easy math, because I'm not a math genius, but for easy math, if you paid $10 a set for those 200 sets, and you and I both know you didn't, she's like, oh, yeah, no, I didn't. I said, you would have spent $2,000. She's like, yeah, okay. I said, if you were the stylist, you would have gotten paid $500 back. And she's like, are you serious? Yes.
I
And
love that
so,
you did girl boss math.
yeah, she's like, wow, that's a lot. I said, so I'm not going to let you buy my stuff. Would you rather spend $99 and get $316 more of product and be able to
Mhm.
save 25% on all of your purchases got here on out? Because I'm guessing if you have 200 sets, you're probably not going to stop buying. She's like, yeah, no, I'm not.
She's a collector.
She said, I said, and, this was during February, so we still had the $20 product credit. I said, and you'll get $20 towards your next purchase. And next week you'll get paid $18.75 on this $99 purchase. Or would you like to spend $1 and we'll get you all set up online and you won't get any of the products or the product credit, but you'll still get paid 25% on every set you purchase from here on out and 25% on the purchase on, whatever your friends buy. And she
Yeah.
looked, she said, can I do that like right now? I said, absolutely. And I handed her my phone and she did the digital enrollment and we booked her first vendor event that night for 2 weeks later. And she's such a trooper. She was in a car accident on the way to the vendor event. She still showed up and
Wow.
she qualified that night on, she took everything that she made from her vendor event, reinvested it in her business, and she had qualified stylist off of,
Wow.
what was it? She said, I think it was a 3-hour evening between set up the event and tear down. So it was very quick, very
Yeah.
easy.
Mhm.
And she qualified. She showed up, she did what I told her to do, and she had qualified stylist.
Okay, I think the biggest takeaway from this one is your presentation skills. The way that you did the math for her and was like, let's really think about this. Like,
That was
here's how you
so
and you gave her two
fun.
options too.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know was not an option because I mean I realize there are times that I can't fork over $99 at the drop of a hat, but most of us, especially for an event like that, we can handle $1. And
Yeah.
so no just wasn't even an option. And it
Hmm.
was so funny because when I walked back to my table, the vendor sitting next to me, who is also with a direct sales company, she looked at me and said, that literally just happened. I'm like, sure did. She was like, that was so cool. I'm like, I know. I can't believe it worked. I mean, I can, but because it just makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you just used logic, like you did the girl boss math and I love the way that you presented it. I hope everybody like rewinds and listens to the wording that you used because it was so good and just like made sense. Like it was that simple. It was good. It was
yeah.
so good. I loved it.
And that's the thing. I mean, I think a lot of times we overthink things and we make things too complicated. And if we just have fun with it and realize, in my team, we have two mantras. Family always comes first, and there are no nail polish emergencies. And I think keeping that in the back of my mind, we just were able to have fun with it. And so when she said $200, I stood like the number started rolling, or 200 sets, the number started
Yeah.
rolling in my head. And I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
seriously.
But even
Um,
the way you presented it about, and you can earn 25%, on your like on any nail sets you buy, you can earn 20%
mhm.
on 25% on anything that you share with your friends and family, like any nails that your friends and family buy. Like you just really
Yep.
simplified it and made it logical
Yeah.
and
And like I said, I knew there was another event coming up in a couple of weeks because I had looked at it, but I couldn't make it. And it was right there in her hometown. And so I said, you know what? We can get you set up right now. And she's like, that I can I take the stuff that I have? I said, absolutely. And she's like, okay, cool. And so we set that up, and then we got together. We met up the next week and had lunch together and just kind of talked through some things. And then she was all set.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think, it helps to like kind of, for me, I've been coaching new stylists for, over almost 7 years. And what my calls look like is I used to, tell them exactly, here's exactly what you're going to do. Um, but I felt like everybody had a different version of how they wanted to work the business. And so I
Yeah.
started asking like, what is it what's in your head? What do you enjoy doing? What do you want to do to sell
Mm-hmm.
these nails? And so it was kind of making it a custom, like asking them the who, what, when, where, how. Like how do you plan to sell, our manis and makeup? When asking what are your work hours?
Yeah.
And getting an idea of what they wanted, and that I feel like that's really helped. Of course, I always give them a guide. The last couple stylists, I just was on a call 2 days ago with a stylist, or was it yesterday? It was yesterday. With a new stylist, and I shared our new ABC plus two party method,
Mm-hmm.
which is so simple. I'm like, listen, if you do nothing else, just do this checklist.
Right.
It's so
Right.
simple. Um, and that I feel like that's really helped, just to kind of like ask them why they're doing it, ask them when they plan to do it, and ask them what they plan to do. And then of course give them some guidance and some next steps like you've been doing.
Right. And I think too, like now that we're past that initial part, I've been kind of thinking about, okay, how do I want to move forward with this? And I got thinking about, when I started out, I had somebody jump in within the first 2 weeks. And I mean, she also loved the product. Sparkle was her favorite color. So she was hooked on the glitters. And I said, how about, I said, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about this or how it's going to go, but I mean, obviously you love it. Why don't we run together? And she's not with us anymore, but she joined in and we really learned the business together. And
Mm.
that was just so fun to have somebody, to bounce ideas off of and to kind of talk through, what are you doing? What am I doing? How can we learn this together? And
Mhm.
so that's my next step with both of them is, who's going to be your running buddy? Because
Mhm.
I can be your business bestie and we can do that, but it's going to be a whole lot more fun for you if, if you have somebody that is ready to run and, that you have a relationship with already, and then you two can grow together. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the path where I'm leading now, and we'll see how that works out. Hopefully, I know the second one with the vendor event, she's got two more events booked, and she actually just had an in-person party that didn't go as well as what we had hoped. So we're going to talk through, what did you do and what can we do differently? But I just love it because she's open to ideas, and it's working with your new stylist and building that relationship so that they can trust the process and trust you, whenever you say, hey, this might sound kind of weird, but what do you think about this? And then they're just ready to go and roll and do it. So it's
Yeah.
been
I
fun.
think that's the key to success in any business, I think, is being open to trying new ideas, because
Yeah.
what worked in the past doesn't always work now. And so it's great to have these new stylists so open and willing, and even ourselves
Mm-hmm.
to be willing to try new things, you know, and see
Like
what
slap
works.
lipstick all over your face.
Yeah, yep. Like put it all over your face, going live
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Such a great idea. Well, thank you so much for sharing time. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we wrap it up?
Just, I mean, no matter what you do, no matter what avenue you take, you got to have fun with it. Because if it's not fun, you're gonna lose your passion with it. So
Yes,
keep having
totally.
fun and share that.
Yeah, find ways to make it fun for yourself and for your new stylists.
Yeah.
Um, Yes. Thank you so much, Jody. Well, this has been awesome.
Absolutely.
I want to
Thank you for
challenge
asking me.
everyone. I want to challenge everyone who watches this to go to do a live with another stylist, whether it's your accountability partner, whether it's your upline, whether it's your side sister, whether it's a new stylist. I think doing a live together could be so fun, and just a fun way to feature the products too.
Yeah, for sure. And it's
All
just
right.
when you
Thanks
have
everyone for
somebody else
watching.
there, you can bounce ideas off of each other and get to laughing, and
Yes.
it's just a good time. Go do it.
Yeah, it's like it's more entertaining too, you know? So, and it's more fun, which is what you're talking about. It's more fun. So I want to challenge you guys to do that. I'm gonna mention that to my new stylists and see if they want to go live too. And so let's all do it together. Let's be willing and open to try new things. Thanks again,
All right.
Jody, for taking
Thank
time
you.
away from your precious new grandbaby to share these
Yep.
some tips with us.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.